Hello friends, welcome to Cloud AC. So as I told you in my previous video, so today the session would be on the Prometheus and Grafana, the infrastructure monitoring tool. So as I told you in my previous session, this monitoring tool is all about to monitor the complete cloud instances dynamically. So what do you mean by dynamically? Because when you just take a cloud appliances or cloud in atmosphere, you see many resources or many cloud appliances gets created or get deleted. To monitor this complete infrastructure, you need a powerful monitoring tool in place. So when you compare the tools in the market, Prometheus and Grafana are the leading tool which are used for monitoring the cloud infrastructure. Today I will just explain you a bit about Prometheus and how the architecture is all about, and also let me walk you through the simulation today. So as a first, let me tell you what is Prometheus all about. Um, Prometheus is when if you just see this diagram, you would be coming to know this Prometheus is a infrastructure monitoring tool which is inbuilt with time series database, and this is connected to the Grafana web UI, a visualization tool. On the left hand side you would be seeing all the targets. So let me start from the left. What is targets? Targets are the destination or the place where you want to get the metrics where you want actually to be collected. To be so precise, when you want to collect a metric from your VM instances or any of your network appliances, it can be compute, it can be a cloud appliances. So that should be the target, and this target is configured by exporter, which is nothing but a code written in any language. It could be Python or it can be Golang. In generally, a Prometheus exporters are written in Golang or Ruby or Python. So here the exporters are available in Prometheus site, or even if you're good in programming and you can just write these exporters. So these exporters are nothing but just a software which would be installed in the nodes, and when you just execute this binary, it start collecting the metrics what you're interested for, and it sends the matrices over the HTTP or HTTPS to Prometheus server through a particular port number, and this Prometheus server saves in its database, and it sends the data to the Grafana. So Prometheus is also a visualization database visualization tool. Um, when you compare with Grafana, it's not that advanced like in visualization, but when you take a Grafana, it has more advantage and it has more lot of features in compared with Prometheus. So in general, Prometheus is you can say it is a querying and dashboarding, and the query database are sent to Grafana using a Prometheus query language, and Grafana gets the data to be visualized in its own style. Uh, if I want to tell you what is how on the high level how you do, and what are the appliances, or what are the plugins available for the Prometheus. If you could see, that's called alert Prometheus alert managers. It is nothing but it's a additional plugin available in Prometheus, which is used to for alert manager, where you can integrate with your HipChat and email configuration, where if you want to have some alerts to be configured, for example, when you have set a threshold for some metrics, and if it get exit, so you would be getting an alert over the HipChat and email. So it depends on the configuration what you do. And if you see the left hand side, I have taken a simple example exporter for a host. So host can be or any VM, it can be a Linux or Windows, anything. The respective exporters are available on the Prometheus side. You can just take that binary and it can get installed on these exporters, and when you just export with the credentials and the username, so it start pulling all of the metrics from the VMs and start giving the data to Prometheus. Prometheus it actually act as a pull. It does not push any data. So it's a push activity, so it's a pull activity where it gets metrics from the respective exporters and queries and data and saves in its database. Then it sends to a Grafana, and Grafana gets visualized in its own style. If you just see on the bottom, I have taken an example of Azure Monitor, Amazon, and the Google Stack Driver. So these are nothing but their own cloud software monitoring applications. But when you use their own applications, you are actually charged for their APIs. So if you take these exporters in and use it in your own monitoring style, so these are free resources and it's an open source, so it will not be charged. Only thing you need to know how to configure it. For today, I would be just walking through to configure the Google Stack, Google Cloud Exporter onto the Prometheus, and you will start get visualized on the Grafana. So if anyone wants to have the configuration to be set up, maybe you can just walk, you can just follow my steps. What I do, you can just simulate and you can start monitoring your setup. And this is mostly used in all the organizations across the globe. And there are a lot of monitoring tools are available, for example like Datadog, and there are a couple of tools which is available which I cannot recall now. So these are the rest of the monitoring tools available where you can install and start pulling all your cloud resources in terms of monitoring. So let's not wait, and if you don't have access on the Google Cloud account, maybe you can use your Microsoft Azure free tier or AWS instances. So here we will be just spawning some couple of VMs, and we'll be installing the respective Grafana and Prometheus softwares in the VMs. So never mind, it can be any of your instances from Amazon or Microsoft or from Google. So I do have account on Google, which is a free tier. You can start using it, and let's not wait for the setup. So I have already created few instances for Grafana and Prometheus. So I would be creating one more instances on the Google Cloud, so which is my free tier. So you'll be getting $300 per annum, so where you can start using your cloud instances, and you can create your own instances. You can do a testing, not only instances. You can use it for a learning purpose. When you plan for some certification, it's more helpful. And if you're running out of the free credits, maybe you can just use some more paid services, and you can start using it. And coming to our setup, now I have spawned already two VMs, which is one I'm using for Grafana, another is for Prometheus. I'll be creating one more VM for okay, maybe I'll be using one more instances for running the exporter. I would just say this is a cloud management server. I would take as a cloud management server. Sorry for the typo. And I'll be spawning it on Frankfurt location, and I'll be taking it on. I'm just taking OS Ubuntu 16.04, and so I'm keeping everything as default, so I'm not changing anything. So it is taking their own subnet. I'm allowing it on the HTTPS, so it creates with the public IPs. So it's spawning a VM here. Where I would always encourage you to put your comment on the below the video once you try to do this configurations, and you can write an email to me, or you can I have a blog, personal blog. You can comment me on the blog. So I would really help you, I mean, to understand and tell you what is all about Prometheus monitoring and other stuffs. So now the setup is being ready. So what we can do is, let's go by one. Um, let's go and install Prometheus. I'm just going into the VM, just clicking SSH because it has a public IP. So you need not to worry about the firewalls. It'll be opened by clicking it. So, and by the time we can just go to the Prometheus URL on the Google. You can just type stack driver exporter. I think my voice or the is not audible much, but because I'm just, you should be hearing my breathing noise. I'm trying to get a new mic. Maybe next video you will be getting better. Okay, so getting into the exporter. This is the GitHub where you can get all your free open source codes for Stackdriver. This is the GitHub. Maybe I can just share the link below my the video. You can just go ahead and do it. So if you just come down, you would be seeing all this binary here, and you can just click on the right click on the binaries. It is taking me to the next page, and if you just come down, you have all these binaries available. Since we are using a Linux, it is the version you can use is AMD 64 tar G6 GZ. You can just copy that, AMD. Okay, so what you can do is just copy link address. You don't need to do anything, you just do a copy link address. I think you have opened up SSH here. See, it is in my email ID with the Prometheus. With the, you just, what you can do is pwd. You are in home, and you can just enter with sudo. Okay, so you're in root now. Maybe you can create some directory in your name. So I'm creating it as Sudhakar. So you can go to the folder, and you can just copy. You can just download the file by giving wget the link. So the export is getting downloaded. See, the download file is ready now. So what you can do is it is in tar file. You have to unzip it, so you can just use tar-xvf and the file. Okay, so now you should be available. You should be able to see the tar file now. Okay, and what you can do is you can just go to this stack driver. You can see this binary files. So now what you can do is you have to execute this binary with a Google account. So once you do it, it start exploring the metrics of the Google account. Okay, so the meantime what we can do is in another VM we can just go and install Grafana. So you are in the VM, and sorry, you have to click the SSH. So your SSH is been opened. So I think you might have followed my video properly, and if you want you can just go back and see how the Prometheus has been installed. So now the Prometheus is ready now. Prometheus exporter is ready, not Prometheus, it's Prometheus exporter. So Prometheus will be configured after this configuration. So you can see the stack driver exporter. Now you'll be running this stack driver binary in couple of minutes. So meantime, so we are in Grafana VM now. So same way you can just go with the sudo access. So you're in root now, and you can just create a best practice. You can create a folder of yours. and get into the folder. So right now you're in the folder, and just go to the URL called https grafana.com, Grafana download. Okay, and you can just simply follow the installation guides. Okay, so what you can do is, so right now we have Ubuntu flavor. To copy that, you can just copy the duplicate and just paste it. So you are ready. Your file is ready now, and you're actually unpacking that. It's like it's kind of a tar. So I think I mistakenly deleted it. I mean, downloaded it in my laptop. Okay, sudo. Okay, so I'm unpacking it and unpacking the Grafana. So it should be available, and I think some error I got. Maybe some dependency package I should install. Maybe I need to install this lib. Okay, I will install this. Okay, install apt install, because there are some lot of dependency available, so you need to install the file. So it's like apt get hyphen install. Okay, there's one more file which is, I think I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I have to do it like apt get install. Okay, so there are some generic topics file is available, so I'm just trying to install it again and unpacking it. So the Grafana is unpacking now, so you should be a little careful while doing it. You might be getting some error, and so you should not worry about it. Maybe, and we have to go to this installation guide. Okay, it will help you to do it. Okay, so now what you need to do is, so you got this. Okay, you need to do this. Okay, so it is done now. So I'm going to the next command. Some file is missing here. Searching error, pausing archive Grafana install, cannot access such file directory. Okay, I'm just giving a wrong file here because there's no such file here. I've given the wrong one. Apologize for that. Okay, so it's starting now. Cool. So what you can do is you can just follow the other commands whatever it has been given here. You can just follow it. Okay, so there are a lot of packages need to be downloaded, so you just follow this command. You don't need to worry anything. And I'm just giving another package for beta version, and there's one more thing is to add a key. Okay, so now I'm just giving an app get update. Okay, so it's updating the packages, and finally I'm installing the Grafana. Okay, cool. So I'm installing it. Cool. I hope it's clear now. One sec. Okay, so now uh, the Grafana has been installed. So we need to check whether it's been installed properly or not. So what you need to do is you need to open the Grafana dashboard using its default port number. So you have to follow this command. So it shows HTTP localhost colon 3000. So we need to find what is the IP address of the host name which has been Grafana has been installed. So you need to just type host name on the VM which you have installed, Grafana. So it's called Grafana. Okay, I need an IP address of this. So it's 10.128.0.0.0.2. Okay, so we can just go to the cloud console of Google. So it is an internal IP, so you cannot reach an internal IP from an HTTPS. So what you can do is you have an external IP of the Grafana um, machine which you have installed. So you can just copy the external IP of that. If you're doing it on your in your company or your in an organization, so many of the VM or many of the cloud appliances will not be having an external IP. So in that case, you can actually use your internal IP, but make sure there should be a proper firewall is working fine. So that should be checked. But here, since I'm doing as a simulation, I'm just taking an external IP of the VM which we created. So I'm just copying it and opening a browser here. So I'm just giving 3000, which is a default port number. Yes, fantastic. It's working now, and I think I've already logged in here, and that's the reason it's not taking me to the home page. So usually, you should get a page to log in with the username password. So default username password is admin. If you have difficulty, the pages it gives you the details. But if you need some information and if you don't know anything, maybe you can just drop an email to me. Maybe I can just share the details to you. So we have installed the Grafana and we have the uh, Prometheus available. So we can just check one more time. So we are in Prometheus software. Let me give a clear window. So right now we are in Prometheus server, which is called Tractor Exporter. The binary is ready. On the other hand, we in the VM of Grafana, the Grafana has been installed and you're able to log into the Grafana page. So what we need to do is we can simulate any of the VM. We can just take the same VM because we have a cloud management VM. We can use this VM and we can just monitor this VM, how it is monitored on Prometheus and also in Grafana. So let's get started. Okay, so right now we have the two VMs which is available. So we have another VM where you want to go to that VM where you want to get the collector metrics to populate on Prometheus and Grafana. And before getting started, so we need to install the Google SDKs. SDK is nothing but software development kit where you need to run the Google Cloud commands, because you want to run such commands here, which might the VM is freshly created and you do not have the SDKs available. SDKs are nothing but the softwares which is used to communicate with your Google Cloud. It's kind of CLI. To install that, you need SDK packages to be installed. So what you can do is you can just go to Google and it is readily available. So I'm just Google called how to install a Google SDK in Ubuntu. So it took me directly to the first link where you have to install your SDKs. Okay, you can just see, you can just go through the packages. You can just directly go copy it and you can install and use it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just copying it. On the other hand, I would say, because I worked on three cloud providers: AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure. In my experience, I would say Google Cloud is comparatively very easy. document wise, support wise, even when it comes to troubleshooting, when it comes to configuration, when it comes to implementation. I would say Google Cloud is the top. Even if you look for some document, it is straightforward and they give it in very simple English, so you don't want to break your head, and all required software is available. Even you can, if you don't have it available, you can raise a support, which is really good. And that's one of the command. So now we need to go and install the SDKs. So I've copied it. Where I need to do is I need to run it on Prometheus server, because I need to initiate the Prometheus um, target where I want to put. So I'm going to install it. So it's okay. So it's copying it. It's like super cool. So let's wait for some more time. It's installing it. See, it's very easy. You don't need to worry and you don't need to break your head. Okay, cool. Next, so what you have to do is, so you have a Docker images also. So if you have a Docker machine, you can install using a Dockers. Maybe in the coming sessions or the next sessions, I would try to use more Dockers rather using some VMs available. Maybe I can just cover that also. So now we need to, once you install, so we need to initialize it. So it's still going on. Let's wait for some more time. See, you can just see setting up Google Cloud SDKs. Okay, so now it says Google Alpha Survey, and you can just, okay, so I think I have copied that, right? So it is taking the same thing. So I have to initialize Google Cloud now. So it's initializing it. Yes. So here it's important here. So it's asking compute at developer.g service account. Okay, so here it is when you try to log into your account is nothing but your project, and your project has one account, and this account has a service account which I have created, and it has a default service account would be created by default. So it's asking whether you want to use that or you want to use the new account. So I need to choose my service account. So I'm just giving a choice of 2. I'm giving enter, and it is asking me to, your credential may be visible to others with access to the virtual machine, or you should want to authenticate to the personal account. Yes, because I'm just doing it for a testing, and once this is done, maybe I will delete all the VMs on the service account. So I'm just giving yes, no problem. And it is asking me to give an authentication code. You can just copy it, and sorry, you have to do it again because it's, sorry, some mistake happened. So I'm just Google initializing it. Okay, while copying, I think I dragged it and copied it, so I should not do it. Or you can just, maybe I can just copy one more time. Yeah, it worked. Okay, so it's nothing but it's an authentication. If I want to walk you through Google Cloud, maybe I can take one more session on the Google Cloud. Maybe you can just write a comment and post me, and you can post me questions on what topic you want to be know which to be covered. So you can ask more questions. So I'm ready to help you. So I'm using my, I'm just giving hello. Okay, so I'm copying the code here. I'm going back to this. I think it will be a little confusing for everyone in the initial days, so need not to worry. So this is a cloud project. This is my Google account name, so it's asking me to create a new project, but I don't want to create a new project because I have a new project already created, and this is ID total bliss. Okay, so I'm going to use the same account, so I'm not going to use a different one, so I'm going to use the same one. Okay, So it's asking me to which region you want to select. So I've already selected which region you want to select. Okay, let's select Europe S3 because I have selected the VMs to be on the Europe S3. Let me go with 20. Okay, so it is done now. Okay, so now you should be able to run the commands, Google commands. I'm just clearing the screen now. You can stop, I really understand it's difficult for you to follow, but you can just stop the video and do it very slowly and you'll come to know. So now you should be able to run the gcloud commands. Gcloud list. Okay, gcloud auth list. Gcloud auth list. Okay, yeah, so it's working. So right now I'm into this my account. So because if you are seeing the star here, it means it is in my account, right? So now we need to go and write R, and moreover write one more thing before doing it. So I need to download the keys. Okay, how to download the keys from Google account? Click on the icons here, go to I'm admin, and you can just go to the service accounts. See, you have two accounts here. It's a default account which is created by Google, and you now have another service account which is created by me. So I just created Sudhakar Raju. I just kept it with my initials SR test following at the rate of the service account ID of the project account ID of this project. And if you want to create a new key, I can just create a new key here. So it's asking me to download using a JSON file. Yes, you need to click create. So it downloads to my queue. Okay, just open it. Okay, open. Okay, I'm opening it, closing the files. Okay, go to the Prometheus server again. Guys, I'm really sorry. This is how you have to do it. So when you follow this video, it will be very difficult to understand, but I recommend you to go through the documents and just follow the video again. And if you have any personal question, you can write an email to me. Definitely, I will ready help. I'm ready to help you in all the need. But when you just follow this video, maybe you would get some idea. But you need to be patient to really understand what is going on. Okay, because this is how you need to learn. By the way, I might be going to the I might switch to the another screens now and then, because this is how you need to provide the details. So I know it's very difficult to follow what I'm doing, but this is how we have to do it. So bear with me. Right now I'm in the stack driver folder. So the key which you created, download from Google account, you need to create a file called dot create. Maybe you can just say key.json. Let's keep it very simple. Okay, so I'm copying it. So copy the key, the file. Okay, so right now we have a file here, and this is the format what you want to do it. Okay, so I'm just copying it. I've already copied it in my notepad to make it simple. Okay, so go to this account. Okay, so you want to authenticate before doing it. Okay, so super key. Okay, so you can just see now Google Cloud Auth activate service account is our test. This is the project ID of my project. and this is a key file called key.json which I have created the service account, and the project ID is nothing but the bliss. So you can just get the project ID from here. Go to the project, click on here, see you have a project ID which I've highlighted. Okay, it's very simple, don't worry. So I'm just authenticating it. Okay, no JSON object could not be decoded, could not read JSON file. Why you're not able to read the JSON file? Okay, let's see, some issue here. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's see if my auth list. Okay, it is in my account, but I need to change it to a service account, but it is not allowing me to do it. Okay. Okay, let me come back with my troubleshooting after this. Friends, okay, sorry for this delay, and so right now I'm into the IAM of Google. So I see my email ID has an owner access, and the service account is also having an owner access. So somehow I got an issue on the owner access on the service account. So what I'm going to do is let me try using my account. So let's use it. Okay, let's see if my account is working or not. Error, Google service account could not read. Hi friends, I think there was an issue with the key name, because when I tried to use the same key called key.json, it was not allowing me to authenticate. Okay, so I just changed the file name to a project.json. Okay, I think there could be some issue with the saving the name of JSON file. So I saved the name as project.json, and it worked now. So what I can do is I can just check Google G Cloud auth list. So now it should be, see, service account has been taken. Got it? So now it's easy. Now you can just go ahead and run the command. Okay, so what you can do is just run this command. Okay, so now we need to try to execute this command. Okay, I've already saved it in my desktop. So what you can do is just go to the VM. Okay, just paste it. I will explain you the format, how we need to enter it. Okay, so right now we are in the format. So this is the binary dot slash the stack drive exporter Google project ID. Okay, the project ID. Okay, I need to just copy this project ID. The project ID is nothing but total bliss number. Okay, monitoring dot metrics hyphen type. It should be some typo here. It should be some type. It should be a type mistake, so I'm just typing it again. Type prefixes. Here comes the interesting topic. Okay, now there are plenty of metrics available, and you want to pull metrics which you're interested. Right, in Google Cloud there are many layers, right? You have network layer, you have compute layer, you have app engine layer, you have plenty of metrics can be collected, but what you're interested for. So now you might be interested for the compute layer where you want to collect about the VMs, and if you're interested on the network layer, you can just go ahead and collect the information of the network. Okay, so now when we want to monitor the VM, so I'm interested in compute layer. So you have the options in GCP. It's called cloudgoogle.com monitoring APIs metrics. So you can go to this URL. Okay, you can just copy this URL and you can just look for these options. It's called compute.googleapis.com. So what Google does, they run an API to these machines, and if you just give your credentials and your username password of the Google Cloud, it start collecting the particular project's APIs into your Prometheus. Okay, so now I'm copying now I'm interested in compute.google.apis.com. So what I'm going to do is I'm just loading it here. I'm giving a command call stack driver exporter Google Live project ID total bliss monitoring metrics. Okay, and one more thing, interesting topic is which port you want to do. So you're interested, it starts from 9000, so you can give any ports, and it's 0.0.0 is nothing but you can listen this output on your any of your IP addresses. Okay, so now I'm executing it. Okay, there's some command cannot execute binary for error. Okay, there should be some issue here. Now I corrected the command, so there was a typo issue. So when I just checked it, so it is typed it wrongly. Earlier it was like I mismatched this Google. So right now I corrected it. I'm just trying to enter it. Cannot execute binary execution format error. So I'm executing it. This again was a mistake. So there should be a 2 hyphens here. So I missed it and I corrected it now. Let's see how it works now. Oh man, there's one more error. Hello friends. Yeah, there was an issue here and I took a little long time to troubleshoot now, and now I think the issue has been solved now. So I just gone to the page and the issue was it was not allowing me to run the command, because when I try to run the binary file, it's asking me to, it is throwing some error called cannot execute binary file, and it threw execute format error. So I'm just gone through some blog and they told that due to some images and I need to install some packages so which will actually solve the issue. Then I tried to do that and now I could able to install the stack driver exporter successfully. Now what you can do is you can go to this VM of Prometheus public IP. Okay, and we have mentioned the port number 9255. So now what we can do is we can just I already typed here the VM number, VM IP address, okay, with the port number 9255. The 9255 is nothing but that is the port which we configured to listen the metrics. So now let me explain it again. So now stack driver has been installed in the in this VM, and the stack driver now getting into this project called which I have created and using my credential account. Okay, and into that service account using this metrics called compute Google API. So it is collecting only the compute related metrics. It's not collecting anything else. If you want to know about networking, it will not. Okay, so here specifically giving which metric you're interested. So you're interested now in compute, so the compute related APIs are now collected, and you want to list this APIs on a URL. So now the Prometheus job is it queries your data from your Google account and keep it in its database and listens to a particular port. You can define it. Ports start from 9000. You can define any port number. So now see, so I'm just giving you a refresh. You're getting a stack exporter. It's successful now. Happy? Cool. So you can just see a small tab here called metrics. You can just click on the metrics. It takes to the metrics. What are the metrics are being collected from this particular project? And you can just notice there are 3 instances what we created: VM Prometheus, Cloud Management, VM Grafana. These are the VMs which we created in the particular project. Got it? So it is collecting only the compute metrics. It is not collecting anything else, because in project you might be having network related topics, interconnects. You would be having, so you have a lot of stuff here, and SQL. It has VPN connectivity status. You can go and there are plenty, but now you're not interested in that. You just want to know, like, you want to collect only the data of this VMs, and it is available now. Okay, so these are the metrics are being collected by the exporters now. So now what it is being collected, we cannot go by one because it takes a lot of time. So what we can just, in generic, we can just check. Okay, so now we came to know it is collecting the instance name, and it is collecting the instance ID. Okay, and is also collecting the CPU informations. Okay, let me put my photograph videos. Yeah, so if you just come down, it is collecting some CPU usages of this VM, some metrics you're getting. And because I think VM Prometheus, or we are running it more because we are running a process, so some CPU usage is more on this particular, because cloud management and VM Grafana is not used much, so we are seeing a little bit of CPUs here. And now we are seeing some CPU utilization. Okay, the CPU usage is different, CPU utilization is different. Okay, and also we are getting some read operations on the disk. Okay, cool. So we are getting some inputs. Okay, on this Prometheus, so this is your stack drive exporter. Okay, so you're getting a stack drive exporter has been now you need to configure some Prometheus. You have to configure Prometheus. How do you configure it? Okay, so now you have stack drive exporter, which is installed in the Prometheus server, where you're collecting every data. So it can be installed in the cloud management, but to keep it very simple, I just collecting in Prometheus because I don't want to use more resources. Okay, so data has been collected. Now you want to configure Prometheus. How to do a Prometheus configuration? Let's start. How to install Prometheus now? Okay, so I'm going to prometheus.io download. Okay, so I'm getting files here, 3 files, which is for Windows, Linux, and Darwin's. So I need to go with Linux. There is alert manager. Alert managers can be covered in a different topic because it is quite vast. We have a lot of things to be configured, which is not required now as a initial step. So we can go by one by one. Maybe the first video would be covering only on the installation of Prometheus and Grafana. Okay, right now we'll just copy the Prometheus after here. Copy the link. I'm going to the Prometheus VM. Okay, so here I'm just coming back. Okay, wget Prometheus installation is happening now. Okay, it is downloaded. Okay, I need to untar it. XVF Prometheus. Okay, go to Prometheus. We have the Prometheus software here. Okay, we want to configure Prometheus now. Very simple. Okay, so now we have uninstalled the Prometheus. We are in the Prometheus folder, and you can see the Prometheus binary here. So you want to export the Prometheus onto your URL. It's very simple. Run your binary web listen address with your general port and 9090. It's running. Cool. Again, go to your so the same VM. We are running it in a different port. So now it is 9090. So you should be having the Prometheus server ready. Super. You're seeing it. Well done. Okay, so you are seeing this local host here. Now what we need to do is you need to add target. Okay, so let me take the picture now. Let me explain you. So right now we have an exporter on the VM. Prometheus server, we have installed this exporter. We have installed the Prometheus. We have installed Grafana. Okay, now we have installed everything by separate. Now what we need to do is we need to do a connection between exporter and Prometheus to Grafana. So that's our next step. So you have a file called Prometheus. So now you can see target is just local, so you will not see any metric is coming from the stack driver. So you need to have a connection between the stack driver and the Prometheus. So what you have to do is you have to give a connection saying the file, YAML file, you need to just define the targets. Okay, so the target format is very simple here. You just copy this. Okay, copy this format, come down. Okay, paste it. One more thing I just want to tell you very clear here. In Ansible, this YAML file. Let's say all Ansible format. Okay, in YAML format, these lines are meant to be called indentation. So the lines should be very clean and it should be in the same line. Otherwise, it will not allow you to execute the command correct. Okay, so the line should be very straight lines. Okay, so now it's targets, it should be in the same line. So I'm just correcting it. Bear with me some time. Target. Hello everyone. Sorry, there was an issue on my Prometheus, so now it's been fixed. Now when you just see the target, it shows up. You'll be seeing the targets as green now. So what you have to do is you have to go to this Prometheus server. Okay, once you have done this Prometheus installation, there's a file called prometheus.yaml. Okay, so in this file, so you have to do a set a destinations. you need to set a target. So target is here is nothing but your stack driver exporter server. See, stack driver exporter server is 35 198.90 165 9255. Okay, so once the target has been set, the Prometheus will start pulling your metrics from the target. So now the state is showing up. So you can go to the status and see the targets here. It is showing up. It means now the data is being collected from the stack driver exporter to Prometheus. So now we can actually do a testing here. Go to graph here. Okay, so by just grabbing some metrics, you can come to know. For example, CPU. See, fantastic. You're getting some input from the stack driver exporter to this Prometheus. Okay, just try to execute. See, you're getting an exporter for. Got it? There are three VMs: VM Prometheus, Cloud Management, VM Grafana. You're getting some input from the CPU utilization. Okay, now we are going to jump to Grafana, which we have added earlier. Go to Grafana, add source. Okay, so now we have a Prometheus. We have many data sources available. For example, you can directly connect Azure Monitor, you can connect CloudWatch, you can connect Prometheus. There's a stack driver exporter directly, but these are the API which is available in on the cloud providers. But since you're using the direct monitoring solutions, it might be charged. So that's the reason to avoid that we are using open source and we are collecting the data. So now the data source would be the Prometheus. You're clicking the Prometheus. Okay. So Prometheus would be this stack driver exporter. Okay, got it. So Prometheus exporter. Okay. So now what you have to do is let's see. Let's do a save and test. See, it shows data source is working. Fantastic. So the process is you have installed a stack driver. From stack driver, the data is pulled to Prometheus. Prometheus, you're able to see the data, and in Grafana, you added the Prometheus as a data source, and you did a test. It's working now. Now you need to do a visualization. For that, it's very simple. Go to the dashboard, click a home here, click a new dashboard, choose the visualization board. Maybe you can put a graph. Okay. Or you can just select a table here. Okay, just click a table panel. Maybe I can walk you through a different one, but still because this is a vast one, but still I'm just explaining you how to do it in simple way. Okay, so I'm just clicking here. See, you got it. You're getting the same value in Grafana. Okay, so now you got the values in the Grafana. So how do you do a visualization? It's very simple. Okay, so go to manage, discard it. We can just try to create a different one. New dashboard, manage, new dashboard, visualization. Try to get some bar gauge or tables or heat maps. Okay, edit Prometheus. See, you're getting some values. So simply utilization, you're getting some values. So you can set a legend format and get all the details. Okay, another way we can try to get another metrics. Disk usage. You're getting a disk read output. Try to execute here. So you're getting some output because you don't have any disks attached to this VM instances. So maybe we can just try to get the CPU usage or process second or usage time. Execute it. So you're getting some values. So Prometheus is being used more. Yes, of course, we are using the Prometheus server in by configuring it. So we are trying to get another matrix and get a new dashboard. This is a different panel. You can get into a different panel mode. Okay, you can add the plenty of options available. Click and get a graph here. Okay, graph. Select a queries from Prometheus. Put a query here. Okay, see, you're getting some graph here. You can time series. You can see some graphs values is going from this time. I'm trying to pull it. Let's see. See, there are some values. You can see some values coming here. For 3 VMs. Let me bring this bar down. You can adjust it with some timings. I'm just looking into it. Okay, so you can see some values of 0.26 for 1 VMs. I think 0.17 is our VM Prometheus instances. Okay, so I hope you understood, but you can drop me an email and you can give a comment bottom of this link, so I can help you how to configure more Grafana, because Grafana is again a bigger topic and Prometheus is again another topic, because I cannot share it in a single video. This is just to show you how to integrate Prometheus and Grafana to pull some data from GCP. So now you came to know the process how we are doing it. But if you want me to walk you through it, Prometheus differently, Grafana differently, maybe you can just comment on the below of the video. I'm happy to take it. So for now, I hope you understood what is the process of installation, the Prometheus and Grafana and stack drivers. Okay, thank you so much for watching now and being patient. If you like this video, comment and share the video, and please subscribe my video my channel, and please do comment on my upcoming videos also. And so I will try to post more videos on the cloud related topics. So I'm preparing it for next for GCP and Microsoft Azure and AWS also. So you would be coming to know, and by just clicking the subscribe button and bell icon, and if I post any new videos, you might be coming to know. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye.